Hello everyone. Welcome to English Grammar Guru. I'm happy you're here today. Today's lesson is about talking about your weekend in English. People often ask, how was your weekend? What did you do? Did you have a good time? In this lesson, you'll learn natural English conversations that you can use with friends, classmates, and coworkers. Listen carefully. Speak slowly. Repeat after each speaker. Let's begin. Conversation 1. Talking about last weekend. Emma. Hi, David. How was your weekend? David. It was great. I had a relaxing weekend. Emma. What did you do? David. On Saturday, I cleaned my room, read a book, and practiced English. Emma. That sounds productive. David. On Sunday, I visited my grandparents and had lunch with them. Emma. I'm sure they were happy to see you. David. Yes, we had a wonderful time together. Conversation 2. Going out with friends. Tom. Sarah, did you do anything fun this weekend? Sarah. Yes, I did. Tom. What did you do? Sarah. I went to the park with my friends. Tom. What did you do there? Sarah. We walked, talked, took pictures, and ate ice cream. Tom. That sounds like a perfect weekend. Conversation 3. Staying at home. James. Anna, did you go anywhere this weekend? Anna. No, I stayed at home. James. Were you bored? Anna. Not at all. I watched a movie, cooked dinner, and listened to English podcasts. James. That sounds relaxing. Anna. Yes, I enjoyed every moment. Useful expressions. How was your weekend? It was great. I had a relaxing weekend. I stayed at home. I went out with my friends. We had a wonderful time. That sounds fun. I really enjoyed it. It was a busy weekend. I can't wait for next weekend. Useful vocabulary. Weekend. Saturday. Sunday. Relax. Park. Friends. Family. Movie. Lunch. Dinner. Walk. Ice cream. Book. Podcast. Memories. Listening practice. Listen carefully. Last weekend, David spent time with his family and friends. On Saturday, he cleaned his room, studied English, and read a book. On Sunday, he visited his grandparents and enjoyed a delicious lunch with them. In the evening, he watched a movie and prepared for the new week. Speaking practice. Repeat these sentences aloud. My weekend was great. I visited my grandparents. I stayed at home. I went to the park. I had a wonderful time. I enjoyed my weekend. Today's challenge. Answer these questions in English. How was your weekend? What did you do on Saturday? What did you do on Sunday? Did you spend time with your family? What was the best part of your weekend? Example. My weekend was wonderful. On Saturday, I cleaned my room and studied English. On Sunday, I visited my relatives and had dinner with my family. The best part of my weekend was spending time with the people I love. Final message. Talking about your weekend is a great way to practice English. Use simple sentences. Speak clearly. Practice every day. Thank you for listening to English Grammar Guru. In part 2, we'll practice more real English conversations about weekend trips, shopping, sports, and relaxing activities. See you next time. Goodbye. Hello everyone. Welcome back to English Grammar Guru. In part 1, we learned how to talk about our weekend using simple English. Today, we'll practice more real-life conversations about weekend trips, shopping, sports, and relaxing activities. Listen carefully. Repeat after each speaker. Let's begin. Conversation 1. A weekend trip. Emma. Hi, David. Did you go anywhere this weekend? David. Yes, I went to a nearby town with my family. Emma. That sounds nice. How did you travel? David. We traveled by car. It took about 2 hours. Emma. What did you do there? David. We visited a beautiful lake, took pictures, and enjoyed local food. Emma. Did you have a good time? David. Yes, it was a wonderful trip. Conversation 2. Weekend shopping. Tom. Sarah. What did you buy this weekend? Sarah. I went shopping and bought a new jacket and a pair of shoes. Tom. Did you find everything you needed? Sarah. Yes, and I also bought a birthday gift for my sister. Tom. That's thoughtful. Sarah. She loved the gift. Conversation 3. Playing sports. James. Anna, did you play any sports this weekend? Anna. Yes, I played badminton with my friends. James. How long did you play? Anna. For about 2 hours. James. That must have been fun. Anna. It was. Exercise always makes me feel happy and healthy. Useful expressions. I went on a short trip. We traveled by car. I had a great time. I went shopping. I bought. We played together. It was a lot of fun. I felt relaxed. I enjoyed every moment. It was a wonderful weekend. Useful vocabulary: trip, lake, shopping, jacket, shoes, gift, sports, badminton, healthy, weekend, relax, family, friends, travel, fun, listening practice. Listen carefully. Sarah had a busy weekend. On Saturday, she went shopping with her sister and bought some new clothes. On Sunday, she visited a beautiful park with her family. They had a picnic, played games, and took many photos. She returned home feeling happy and relaxed. Speaking practice. Repeat these sentences aloud. I went on a short trip. I traveled by car. I bought a new jacket. I played badminton. I had a wonderful weekend. I enjoyed every moment. Today's challenge. Answer these questions in English. Did you travel anywhere last weekend? What did you buy recently? Do you like playing sports? How do you spend your Sundays? What was the best part of your weekend? Example: last weekend, I stayed in my city but visited a park with my family. We had lunch together and took many pictures. I also bought a new notebook. The best part of my weekend was spending time with my family. Final message: weekends are a great time to relax, enjoy your hobbies, and practice English. Talk about your experiences, share your stories, and keep improving your English every day. Thank you for listening to English Grammar Guru. In part 3, we'll practice more real English conversations about visiting relatives, watching movies, preparing for the new week, and talking naturally about your weekend. See you next time. Goodbye. Hello everyone. Welcome back to English Grammar Guru. In part 2, we talked about weekend trips, shopping, and sports. Today, we'll practice more real English conversations about visiting relatives, watching movies, doing housework, and preparing for a new week. Listen carefully. Speak slowly. Repeat after each speaker. Let's begin. Conversation 1. Visiting relatives. Emma: Hi, David. Did you visit anyone this weekend? David: Yes, I visited my uncle and aunt. Emma: That's nice. How was your visit? David: It was wonderful. We had lunch together and talked for hours. Emma: Did you enjoy the food? David: Yes, my aunt cooked my favorite meal. Emma: That sounds like a lovely day. Conversation 2. Watching a movie. Tom: Sarah, did you watch any movies this weekend? Sarah: Yes, I watched a comedy with my family. Tom: Was it funny? Sarah: Very funny. We laughed a lot. Tom: Did you watch it at home or at the cinema? Sarah: We watched it at home with popcorn and drinks. Tom: That sounds relaxing. Conversation 3. Getting ready for Monday. James: Anna, how do you prepare for a new week? Anna: Every Sunday evening, I make a plan for Monday. James: What do you write in your plan? Anna: I write my work schedule, study time, and important tasks. James: That's a good habit. Anna: It helps me stay organized and ready for the week. Useful expressions. I visited my relatives. We had lunch together. I watched a movie. It was really funny. I had a relaxing weekend. I made a plan for the week. I stayed organized. I enjoyed spending time with my family. I felt refreshed. I'm ready for a new week. Useful vocabulary: relative, uncle, aunt, movie, comedy, cinema, popcorn, plan, schedule, Monday, weekend, family, relax, organized, task, listening practice. Listen carefully. On Sunday, Emma visited her grandparents and had lunch with them. In the afternoon, she watched a comedy movie with her family. Before going to bed, she prepared her school bag, made a plan for Monday, and studied English for 20 minutes. She started the new week feeling confident and happy. Speaking practice. Repeat these sentences aloud. I visited my relatives. I watched a funny movie. I made a plan for Monday. I stayed organized. I had a relaxing weekend. I'm ready for a new week. Today's challenge. Answer these questions in English. Did you visit any relatives last weekend? What movie did you watch recently? How do you prepare for Monday? Do you make a weekly plan? What was the happiest moment of your weekend? Example: Last weekend, I visited my grandparents and had dinner with my family. On Sunday evening, I watched a movie and prepared my bag for school. I also studied English for 30 minutes. My happiest moment was spending time with my family. Final message: every weekend is a chance to relax, spend time with loved ones, and prepare for a successful new week. Keep speaking English. Keep practicing every day. and enjoy every conversation. Thank you for listening to English Grammar Guru. In part 4, we'll review everything you've learned with a complete weekend conversation, a final speaking challenge, and useful tips for talking naturally about your weekend in English. See you next time. Goodbye. Here's part 4 of your English podcast. Talk about your weekend in English. Real English Conversation Practice, A2B1 English Podcast, Part 4. Hello everyone. Welcome back to English Grammar Guru. Congratulations. You have completed this 4-part English conversation series. Today, we'll review everything you've learned with a complete conversation, useful expressions, a speaking challenge, and practical tips for talking naturally about your weekend in English. Let's begin. Complete conversation. My weekend. Emma. Hi, David. How was your weekend? David. It was excellent. I had a busy but enjoyable weekend. Emma. What did you do on Saturday? David. I cleaned my room in the morning and went shopping with my family in the afternoon. Emma. Did you buy anything? David. Yes, I bought a new shirt and a pair of shoes. Emma. That sounds great. What about Sunday? David. On Sunday, I visited my grandparents. We had lunch together and talked for a long time. Emma. That's wonderful. Did you have time to relax? David. Yes. In the evening, I watched a movie and practiced English for 30 minutes. Emma. You had a perfect weekend. David. Yes, I feel relaxed and ready for a new week. Emma. I hope next weekend is just as enjoyable. David. Thank you. I hope so too. Useful expressions review. Let's review today's expressions. How was your weekend? It was great. I had a wonderful time. I went shopping. I visited my grandparents. We had lunch together. I watched a movie. I relaxed at home. I'm ready for a new week. Have a great weekend. Useful vocabulary review. Weekend. Saturday. Sunday. Family. Friends. Shopping. Movie. Park. Restaurant. Relatives. Relax. Plan. Routine. Hobby. Memories. Listening practice. Listen carefully. David had a wonderful weekend. On Saturday, he went shopping with his family and bought some new clothes. On Sunday, he visited his grandparents and enjoyed a delicious meal. Later, he watched a movie, studied English, and prepared for Monday. He felt happy, relaxed, and ready for the new week. Speaking practice. Repeat these sentences aloud. My weekend was wonderful. I spent time with my family. I went shopping. I watched a movie. I practiced English. I'm ready for a new week. I had a great time. Daily speaking challenge. Now it's your turn. Speak for 2 or 3 minutes about your weekend. Try to answer these questions. How was your weekend? What did you do on Saturday? What did you do on Sunday? Who did you spend time with? What was the best part of your weekend? What are your plans for next weekend? Example. My weekend was very enjoyable. On Saturday, I cleaned my room and went to the park with my friends. On Sunday, I visited my grandparents and had lunch with my family. In the evening, I watched a movie and practiced English. The best part of my weekend was spending time with my family. Next weekend, I want to visit a museum and read an English book. Final tips. Here are 5 simple tips for talking about your weekend in English. 1. Use the past tense to describe what you did. 2. Learn common weekend vocabulary. 3. Practice speaking with a friend or by yourself. 4. Describe your favorite weekend activity in a few sentences. 5. Speak slowly and confidently. Final motivation. Remember, every weekend gives you new experiences. Every conversation improves your English. Every day of practice builds your confidence. Keep listening, keep speaking, keep learning. Thank you for joining this 4-part series, Talk About Your Weekend in English. Real English Conversation Practice, A2B1 English Podcast. This is English Grammar Guru. I'll see you in the next lesson. Goodbye, take care, and happy learning.